So what we have planned to do, let me tell you, there'll be total 10 sessions, right? 5 sessions I will be taking, and mine will be purely geography because I'm a specialized person in geography and economics. So I have chosen subjects which I will be able to help you out more in. So I will be doing geography. Nagmai ma'am will be doing history and civics. So that is her area. Now, 5 sessions I am taking geography. I have planned out certain things, but teachers, if you want me to do any topic which you want help, I will definitely do it within these 5 days. So anything you feel you want help, you want guidance, you want more ways of teaching or techniques you want to know, please let me know in the group or personally. I will include them in this 5 session also. But I was asked to plan the 5 sessions, which I have done, and I'll show you what I'm going to teach in these 5 sessions. Ma'am, I'll just show you on the screen what I have planned. So I will be taking 5 sessions. First session, ma'am, can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. So I will be taking session 1 on map reading. Now, why I have chosen these sessions, I am not emphasizing only chapters. I have taken up concepts because I feel as a geography person, when we are teaching geography also, map reading is something which we require in all the classes. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In fact, I mostly teach 9 and 10. My expertise is 9 and 10. In DAV, I am teaching 8 also. Previously, I used to teach only 9, 10. But in DAV, you can teach any class you can be given. So I'm teaching other classes also. There, I always feel, children need to have a concept or idea about what are maps and how to study maps. It is very, very important for them. So this problem children face, map reading, realize children need help for map reading. So map reading, I want to go in detail. And if you want any help, how to teach maps in class also, I will tell you. My second session will be latitude, longitudes, and globe. Third will be agriculture, where when I'm teaching, I will be covering what is taught in 6, 7, 8, all the 3. I have gone through the books of 3, even though I'm not teaching 6 and 7, but I've gone through it and I've understood what are the level, what are the things which you require for these 3 classes, and I will cover those also. Session 3 will be agriculture, which is basically in class 8. Again, we have it in class 9 and 10 also. So agriculture should be taught very, very carefully because it is there for the board exam. Fourth session, I will do on lithosphere. And fifth session, atmosphere, pressure belts, and planetary winds. Now, I'll just, every session, I have made a list of, I'll just do slideshow, ma'am. 1 minute. So in session of map reading, learning objectives, what are we expected to learn? I have made a list. So what are we supposed to learn when we are doing map reading or when we are teaching map reading in a class? See, our main function is to develop knowledge on locating directions. How do we understand what is north, what is south, what is east, what is west? That is very, very important. Then why do we use maps? How is it different from a globe? What is the importance of map? How it helps us to understand places, their locations, etc. Then we should make the children understand the different types of map. This is very, very important because, when I'm teaching, I tell children to bring or do a political map or open a political map in the class. They get even in class 9, they will ask me, they'll show a physical map and say, ma'am, this map you want. So that confusion should not be there amongst the children. What is political map? What is physical map? What are the different type of thematic maps? All this I will cover in the first session. And of course, we will have assessment and group activities. I have planned little for you all also. That also we will do. And lot of things. What are we learning when we are doing map reading? Basically, we are exploring, and through space, we are teaching them the concept of location of place, spatial distribution of places. And we have to make them understand where India is. Where is, first we have to start from our country. Where is India? Or if I'm very correct in saying, we should also first start with our state. Children should know which state we belong to. Then we can take them into little higher level. From state, you move to country. From country to you move to continent. Let them understand the different continents, the neighboring countries of India, the physical features of India. So very slowly, I think in class, if I'm not mistaken, ma'am, class 4, we start. No, India started in class 4 or 5. Right, ma'am? Anybody who's
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You must have also felt, every year we are teaching right from the beginning, everything. In fact, I feel when I'm teaching class 9, in class 9, we teach physical features of India. In class 9 also, I have to tell them about India, what are the neighboring countries, what are the seas around India, everything. I always feel as if every class you are doing everything again. But children tend to forget. So we have to go on reinforcing all these ideas in them. So next session first we will do map reading. Second session will be latitude, longitudes, and globe. So we will cover what are latitude, longitude, how globe is important, what are the different heat zones, how do we calculate time, what are the different time zones. These are the things I will be covering. I am telling you all these teachers, if you want me to add anything, please tell me. Today, if you tell me also, I can add. Today evening also, if you tell me, because once you know my topics, you can understand what I am teaching and what more you want. Now, session 3, I will be covering agriculture, where I will cover crops also, different types of farmings, then what are the factors which are required for the major crops, and what is the relationship between farming, and a comparison of farming in India and USA, which is there in class 8. I have taken that up also. So these things I will be covering. Session 4, I will cover lithosphere, that is the interior of the earth. I think this is in class 7. I went through the book when I was making my PPT. So we have to describe how land is formed, what is the interior of the earth, what are the different rock types found in the earth, then the factors which lead to disasters, calamities, earthquakes, flood, that is, and how we can take preventive action during these times. And my last session, 5th session, will be on atmosphere, pressure belts, and planetary winds. Atmosphere, of course, is, I think, class 7. These topics are covered. And composition of atmosphere, layers of the earth, this is simple. But where I feel sometimes that we need pressure belts and planetary winds, they are part of class 7. But when I teach in 9, I realize the concept is not clear. How are pressure belts formed? Then what are the planetary winds? Because this I have to again explain to them when I'm teaching monsoon in class 9. So I somewhere feel we should very, very clearly explain to children the different pressure belts in class 7. We should not think it is not very important or just touch upon it, because later they suffer otherwise. So these are the topics which I will be covering. Along with that, I will tell you what Nagmai ma'am has planned to cover, so that if you want her to add something more, you can ask her also. So I'll just show you what Nagmani ma'am is planning to cover. She will be taking from 6th session. So 6th class, she will be teaching you about why to teach history, the methods to teach history, what is pre-reading, post-reading materials, how will you use the breakout rooms, etc. Then in the next class, she will be doing only civics. What are the vocabulary of civics, which are very tough for children, and how we can teach them. 8th class, she will teach how to hold a debate in a class, how to control the class, and what are the things teachers should do to conduct a debate. 9th class, she will be teaching you how to write a lesson plan. See, when I am also showing you my learning objectives, all that also is part of lesson plan. And how to incorporate art integration. Now, CBSE believes in art integration, experiential learning. These have become the in thing now. And of course, flipped classroom, we have understood in the pandemic what all these are. So all these things she will be covering. And in the last class, she will be teaching you the techniques to be followed for setting question papers. And an assignment will be given to prepare a lesson plan. So this is what Nagmai ma'am has planned out. So today's first session is map reading, where we are going to touch upon everything related to a map. What is a map? Why do we do map reading? Why it is important to understand maps? Because see, whether you are a geography person, social person, or engineer, everybody needs a map. Today, wherever you go, see, I love traveling. I have traveled to various parts in the world also. I've been to Switzerland. I can never forget Denmark, like Norway, Sweden, like these places. When you go to any place, you have to first look at a map. Otherwise, it holds no importance where you're going. You have to understand where the place is, how you're traveling, what are the route you are going to take. All this, if you look at a map, you will understand. And of course, nowadays, traveling has become easy because we have the GPS to guide us also. GPS is also made based on a map only. So map is something which we all need. Without map, you can't do anything. With whichever profession you belong to, there are a lot of people I know who are engineers and all, but they love traveling. So they have very good idea about map reading. So map reading is a concept which we have to teach a child from very young age. I remember last 1 month back in class 8, suddenly I asked them, do you know how to look up a place in an atlas? Children were blank. Why? See, atlas is a book which they buy from, I think, class 4, they buy that Oxford Atlas, right? But how many of them have gone through the atlas and they know how to use the atlas? Very few know it, because in class 8, I experienced this last month only. Then I started telling them about a game we used to play. When I was small, we used to play a game. We didn't have so many television show and internet and this, that, right? So we used to play games also with Atlas. A name used to be given, a place name, and we were asked to find out where it is, in which map it is, and whoever does is fastest win. So we were taught how to look at an index of an atlas. In the class, when I asked them, children, have you ever seen index of an atlas? They have never done it because they have not learned these type of educational games, you can call it. So when you tell the children, look at, see, any place in the world, when it's given to you, just go to the index. We can tell this in the class and make our classes more interesting. Tell them one day we will play Atlas game. So let them all bring the Atlas to school. Tell them any name of a place and find out where it is. So first thing they should know is how to look at the index. Suppose you gave a place called, any place we can give, even Arcot. Suppose if I've given a place called Arcot in Tamil Nadu. So they should go under A, look for Arcot. Next to the name of the place, if you have Atlas teachers, you can see it also. The page number will be given where you will find that place. Then the grid, latitude, longitude, and the grid is also given. Right? Have you gone through it, teachers? Have you ever seen how nicely in Atlas they give?
No.
Ma'am, anytime you play this in class, children will enjoy, because that day when children told me they have never looked at an atlas, I made them play this game and they enjoyed it thoroughly. Because how to look at a place with page number, with latitude, with longitude. See, when you're teaching them this, you're teaching them how a place is located in a map also. So they're learning what is latitude, What is longitude? Wherever these two lines are meeting, that intersection is the place where that particular place is located. And to make it easy in the index, grids are drawn. A, B, C, D grids alphabetically, and numbers are given also. So that also helps them to look at the place. So this is very simple game, but they find it interesting and they understand how to locate a place in a map also with this. So in this session, that is map reading, what are we going to learn? First, we are developing knowledge on locating directions on a flat surface. Map is something which is drawn on a flat surface. It's drawn on a paper. It is two-dimensional. When I look at a globe, I have a globe right here, right? This is a globe. This is 3D, three-dimensional, right? Some people find looking at globe very, very easy because they can directly see the continent, where the country is, etc. But when you have to go into detail of any place, then globes can't help you. Then you need map. So map is something which is drawn in a paper. It is two-dimensional. It helps us to understand where the place is located, where is the continent. So where the place is located, which continent, what are the different oceans, etc. Then a map also teaches us direction. How? Any map you see, a map is not complete without direction. You will have a north line right on the top. So it tells us where the north is. Once you know where the north is, automatically you know where east is, where west is, where south is. So a map helps us to understand directions also. And in this lesson, also we will understand the different types of maps and what they teach us. Now, pedagogies, what are the different? Nowadays, CBSE talks about learning objectives. When we are writing lesson plan also teaches these things we need. We need learning objectives. We need pedagogies. We need the assessment techniques. How are you testing the children? So in pedagogy, which pedagogy are we learning when we are doing map? Here, children are learning experiential learning. So through their experience, they're exploring and learning about what is a map. And they're learning how to locate continents, oceans, seas, state, union territories, neighboring countries, physical features. All this they will learn when they're doing maps. Now, how can we test them? You can have different group activities on different types of maps. And you can also test them on what are the conventional signs and symbols which are used in the map. Without that, you cannot understand a map. Now here we are going first, we should make it very clear to children what is the difference between a map and a globe. The globe is something, as you can see in the picture, it is something which is three-dimensional. It gives the idea about the whole world, right? But when you want to know detail about something, you have to have it in a two-dimensional. Otherwise, you can't understand. The globe has its own limitations. You can't carry it. It's difficult to carry. But when it comes to a map, we can just fold it and put it in a pocket and take anywhere we want. So it makes it very easy to move around with the maps. So what is a map? A map is a flat drawing of a place. So in a paper, you are drawing something, either you draw the whole world or a part of the world depending on your requirement. It helps us, determines where we are going. It will help us to understand the place where we are going to. Again, it acts like a model of the Earth's surface. The Earth's surface, what is there, you can reduce it into a paper for your convenience. Then it helps us to locate places also in the world. And it shows various features or types of materials found in certain area. What are the resources found? What are the rivers? What are the lakes? Which places are there? All these things. So all these four things are found in a map. Now, what are the different types of maps? Now, when we think about types of map, first thing which comes to our mind is political map, right? Why? Because it helps us to know the different states, the different cities, the different towns. And in a political map, first thing you tell children very, very clearly, there are boundaries found which will demarcate which state is where it ends. So political maps shows that the boundaries of different states and union territories of India, and same way about the world also. Physical map, physical map is very easy to understand because it is very colorful. And all these colors have a definite meaning to them. Green, when we think of the color blue, what do we think of?
Water, ma'am.
Water.
So wherever
water
in a
bodies.
map you see blue
Coastal
color,
areas.
water. Then brown. What do we associate brown with?
Mountains.
Mountains, peaks.
This knowledge, in very simple way we can give to the children. Children, when you see blue color means there is water there. When you see brown means there is mountain. And when they color also, ma'am, please make the children fix these colors. Don't get them confused. Tell them for water bodies, you have to use blue because that is what is correct. For mountains, use brown, right? Yellow for plateaus. Like this, different colors are allotted for different physical features. Then we have thematic maps. What are thematic maps? These are based on certain
Specific map.
themes, right? You can have a railway map. They are more detailed. Railway map, vegetation map, right? Then you have here what we are showing, the relief map of India. These are thematic maps. So thematic maps, they have different type of information. So many maps, because of all information cannot be put, you can't put everything in one map. So we have different maps based on different themes. So rainfall, one type of map. Roads, you have a different map. So these are more detailed maps. So what are the different types of
Specific
map? Physical, political.
Thematic.
Now we come to the next topic. What is component of a map? What do you mean by the word components? Yes, anybody wants to answer? What do you mean by component?
What are the
Symbols
things
and signs
beneath
which
it?
are used inside the map.
What are the maps composed of? What do they need? What are the main components?
Set up a map.
So three main components in a map. What are they? Distance, direction, symbol. Now these three we have to understand very, very clearly. So what is important in maps? Direction. What a map will very, very easily help us to location direction. But we should understand how to make out directions by looking at a map. So when you look at a map, definitely all map will have a north line that is pointing towards the north. So once you have determined which is the north direction in a map, all other directions become easy for us. Then maps also help us to understand distance, how every map will have a scale. When you look at atlas also, you will first see the direction given on top and you will have a scale. Scale is very important to understand also, which we will do later. And lastly, what we have is symbols. Symbols are certain specific symbols are decided worldwide. They're decided. And those symbols are used. Like for post office, we use one symbol. For wells, we use one symbol. For temple, we use one symbol. So these three things we have to understand. Then only we can do map reading. Our main purpose is to read maps correctly. So direction, which map is correct? See, if we have these two maps, you should tell children, you have to be sure about how to place a map. So you cannot place a map upside down. That is wrong. So your direction is very important. Then cardinal. So that brings us to the question of direction. There are four important directions. What are they? They are also known as
North, south,
cardinal.
west, east.
Yes, north,
Cardinal.
south, east,
South,
west.
east, west.
These are the cardinal. Cardinal means main. So cardinal directions are the most important direction. They are very, very important, which we have to understand. And once we know these 4 directions, you can know the other intermediate directions also. So maps and globes have some way of showing the direction. This is a compass rose, which is showing the 4 direction. And in the middle, you have intermediate directions. When you're saying intermediate, you have to write it correctly also. Between north and east, you have northeast. Between south and east, you have southeast. Between south and west, southwest. North and west.
North.
So total 4 cardinal and 4 intermediate directions. Now, this is a compass rose. So this symbol is called a compass rose. A compass rose is used to display what? It shows us the cardinal directions with their intermediate points. Sometimes children find it very difficult to remember. So we can give things like this, what to say, as some comparisons so that they can learn the directions. North, east, south, west, right? So never eat soggy worms. So they can remember N is for north, E is for east, S is for south, and W is for west. Just a fun thing for children to remember. Now, let us have a small activity. So what direction is this on top?
North.
These things you can do. I will share the PPT with you, teachers. You can use this for children also. And then if this is not, opposite will be
South.
south. Once you know north, right will be on the right,
East.
on the left will be
West.
now between north and east, we have
Northeast.
between south and east,
Southeast.
between south and west,
Southwest.
between north and west,
Northwest.
Very, very simple. For us, it is very, very simple. For children, it may not be.
Northwest.
So we can give them this diagram on the board. You can give a printout, whatever, and make them do it, because this is something which they should know. These are some basic concepts which we think it's easy, but for them it may not be easy. Right. Next, we come to map symbols. Now, this is called a sketch. Okay, a sketch is given. Now here you have to see what does everything mean. So a tree, the symbol tree is given, grass, green color, bridge. So for bridge, the symbol is used here, you can see. And railway line is there, river is there. These are the different symbols which are used in this map to understand the location. This is a very detailed map. So it is showing a place called Vasantpur. There's a railway line there. There is Umri, there is school, PTO, Post and Telegraph Office. Yes. RS, railway station. Right, river. One thing very interesting, this I find children don't know. Every map will have an arrow. What does this mean? It means river is flowing from which direction? Yes, anybody. River is flowing from which direction?
East to west. East to east or
to
west.
South.
south.
It's coming from south. Yeah.
It's going to south. From
South.
east, it is moving
East
to
to
south. Or northeast, it's moving to south. Yes. See, this is the north direction. All maps will have a north direction. Right. So many things children can learn just by looking at one map. Now, next. So maps have symbols that stand for things drawn on a map. So every map, you have to look very, very carefully and understand the different symbols which are used in a map. So for aeroplane or airport, you have a different symbol. For hospital, there's a different symbol. right? So each thing, it has a symbol is given in a map. The symbols on a map are explained on a map key. So every map will have a key which shows us what each symbol stands for. So we should carefully look at the key to understand a map. Now we come to the next most important thing. What is distance? Yes, anybody can tell me. Let me ask you how much, definitely you all are teaching in class 6. What is the distance in a map? How do we understand the scale in a map? Yes.
Ma'am, the
Vijayalakshmi ma'am,
actual distance on the road can be seen from a map with the help of scale.
with the help of a scale. Right.
Like
So
if it is
see,
1 centimeter on the map, here the measurement is like 250 kilometer on the road.
250 kilometers it is showing. So this, what is the breadth of India? So 1 centimeter represents 250 kilometer. So 10 centimeters will represent 250 kilometers. This entire breadth is 250, right? So scale will help us to understand what the place looks like on the ground, right? So in a paper, we can't put the entire thing. So we have to reduce it to a particular scale so that we can put it on a paper. So 1 scale, 1 centimeter. See, in the second one, it is 1 centimeter equals to 8 meters. So what is the size of this ground? So the size of the ground is 8 meters
8
and this
into
is
12.
12. So 8 into
12
12, 96.
96 meter.
So this concept, we should give to the children very, very carefully. They can't understand. They're very small to understand, what is a scale. So we have to tell them that the world is very big. India itself is so big. So how can we put that big thing into a paper? So we have to bring it down to a scale, reduce it in size, and then put it on paper. Now, so maps have scales, and scales are a way to measure distance. Map makers usually have to draw things smaller on their maps than they really are. For example, a scale can show how many miles are represented by a certain amount of space on the map. So what is the space and what is the map? There'll be a big difference. So it has to be reduced to a scale so that we can show everything possible which is there in the ground on that map. Now take a look at this map. It shows 1 inch equal to 4 miles. So 1 inch on the scale is 4 miles on the ground. Right. Now, maps also have titles. You have to give a name to a map. You can't just have a map. You have to say India physical, India political, whatever. In fact, any diagram that we draw, if we don't give a title, it is never complete. So every map should have a title. It should also have a boundary. So here the title of a map is treasure map. Why? Because they have to hunt for a treasure. So every title has a meaning in a map also. Now, so what have we studied when we are doing maps? So do you remember what the parts of maps are called? So what is this? First one, we did this. Yes, anybody? Honey map. Compass rose. Yes, correct.
Compass rose.
What is this?
Scale.
Scale.
To
What
understand
is
the mold.
this?
Map.
Map.
Schematic map.
What are these? Symbols. Again a map. What type of map is this?
World map.
World map.
World map.
Coordinates. Yes, and in the middle we have
Map key.
map key. So all these things we are finding in each map. Now, activity 2, very, very simple. Let us do match the column. The children also we can do. They all enjoy these type of things. So cardinal directions.
Option D. Option D.
Yes, thank you. East, west, north, south. Correct.
On a map.
Symbols on map.
Option F.
Ma'am,
F.
F.
Yes.
Same. 1 centimeter equal to 100 meters.
E. Third one. 3E. Third one.
6 centimeter equals to
600 meters.
600 meters. Correct. Next,
4A.
components
Ma'am,
of a map.
4A.
4B.
Finding
In
direction.
direction.
4B.
B.
B, ma'am,
Distance,
finding direction.
Option A. Fifth one, option A.
A.
A. The 3 components of a map. See, we are recapitulating also. After this, when you do my Google form, which I'll post immediately, it will be so easy. All you all have learned everything fast. So components, direction, symbol. And symbols help us, help by giving us
About
More
place.
information
more
about
information about the place. Right. Now, last part, I think. Difference between a sketch and a map. Sketch and a plan. Now, sketch is something which is very rough. I can draw a sketch from my house to the school. So sketch is a rough map. Here distance is approximate. You don't need to write distances also. Approximately you can do the distance. Directions also are approximate and symbols are very, very few. So this is drawn. Suppose a child is showing the teacher by the house, where his house is from the school. So roughly they can draw a sketch and show. But when you're doing a plan, like we have seen a house plan, a flat plan, the size of a room, everything they will do. Like this map is showing something like that. So plan is a map of the future. So what something will look like. When you're going to buy a house, a flat or something, they give you a plan layout of the house, which shows where the bedroom will be, what will the size of bedrooms be, where the drawing room will be. Everything is shown according to scale. So distances are exact, directions are exact, and symbols as required are given. For the, it can be plan of anything, right? So reading a map. Let us read a map. Simple. Now, teachers, you can raise your hand. That symbol is there, no? So label first question. North, south, east, and west on the compass rose. Where is the compass rose?
Down.
Down, ma'am. That's down.
down.
Down. It is down.
Left corner.
To the south.
Yes. So here you can label north, south, east, west on the compass rose. Now color the land green and the water blue. This we can give to children. They will enjoy and learn what color represents what and where is water and where is land. That also we can learn. Now, write north, south, east or west. For north, there will be an arrow. Here they've given a small arrow type of thing.
Arrow.
So the rowboats. What are the rowboats? You have to see the key. Yes.
East of the.
Yes, Honey Subha ma'am. Where are the rowboats? The rowboats are dash of the campfire. This is the campfire. The rowboats are
East to the campfire. East side.
of
East to the campfire.
Right.
Northeast.
The camping trailers are dash of the tent. Camping trailers. Where are the camping trailers?
Northwest.
Northwest.
West.
Northwest.
Northwest or northeast?
North only.
The camping trailers are dash of the tent.
Northwest.
You can write north, you can
North.
write northeast. Northeast.
North.
Northeast.
The cabins are dash of the tents. These are the tents. Cabin are to the
West.
west. West of the tent. The campfire is dash of the camping trailer. Campfire. The campfire.
South.
Dash of
South
the
of the camping
South.
fire.
Right.
South.
And last one, the island is dash of the cabins. Cabins are which one? This. So island is on the
Northeast, ma'am.
Northeast.
Northeast, ma'am.
Northeast of the cabin.
This is the cabin. The island is dash of the cabin.
East, ma'am.
East of the cabin.
East
East.
of the
Simple east. Right.
Northeast we can bring.
Right. Now, last part. This I just wanted to add so that you can play the game with children. Please, teachers, do it. In class 8, 9 also, I'm seeing children don't know how to use an atlas. So let them play a game in the class. 10 minutes, you can play a game with them. How to use an atlas. So find a specific map in an atlas using the table of contents or index page. So let them go to index page, which is at the back. See, any map they can find by looking at the content. Where is the content? At the beginning of the book. Index is at the back. So any place you select, tell them to look for it in the map. So the table of content lists the main sections of atlas in order of page number. The content of an atlas is usually divided by continents. If you look at an atlas, all the big maps related to India will be together. Then you will have maps related to Africa together. Then you will have North America.
Then you have now to
Continent
South
wise,
America.
you have maps in an atlas.
as per the area.
Index page lists all the continents, countries, and cities in the book in an alphabetical order. So alphabetically, the names will be given. So you choose any name, Jamaica. They will look up J, find where Jamaica is in the index, see the page number, see the latitude, see the longitude, and then find it in the atlas. So they will learn lot of things. They are learning the coordinates. What do you mean by coordinates? Latitude, longitude.
And
Right, these are the
longitudes
coordinates.
each other.
Wherever they intersect, that point is the location of that particular place. So many things they will learn while looking up at an atlas. So I request all of you, please make them look up an atlas. And you can give this type of activity in class. Let them take an atlas, you give a question. Any question you can give. What is the name of river that runs through London? I've just taken at random something. So they have to go to London, look at the river, see, identify the blue color for the river and write the name here. Then Budapest is the capital of which country? Any other, if you're doing India, all questions you can relate to India and give it to them, and that way they will learn better. They will look at the atlas and learn everything in that map. Right. That brings me to end of my session, teachers.